Shoveled it off.
Shoveled it off?
Yes, they shoveled it off.
They have any way of getting rid of it if it caught fire after it out of the pit?
Well, it went out itself. They just built it into what they called a retort and burnt it. I've cut lots of wood for them.
Uh-huh.
And they burnt it, and then they draw it off after it's charred.
Yes.
They made several stuff out of them. They've got tar and lime lee and I don't know what all out of
Wood
it.
alcohol.
Wood alcohol, that all come off in pipes.
Uh-huh.
I helped cut
The
most of that.
retort.
Most of that chemical wood.
Called them chemical plants.
Yes, those
Yeah,
chemical
chemical
plants.
wood.
Were there any charcoal burners just lived in this area around here?
No,
Glen Hazel,
This wasn't a charcoal.
Glen Hazel was
that is the first place I know that they made.
This wasn't in the nature of charcoal burners like you're talking about. This was chemical plants where they had retorts.
Retorts.
Charcoal
Burn
burners were out in the woods and they covered it with dirt.
That's
It was
right.
Entirely different business.
Mm-hmm.
Philip and moved on the order. He was not a great man to drink. He was getting over drunk.
That is for hauling logs on.
No, the police spider. They just
Driving
cut
force for sleigh.
two poles at it and cut them partly off here, you know, so they come up into the
Make the
current.
shafts.
Current said make the shafts, then put a seat on it here, and they call that a spider. You could ride that, and good thing to break a cold in it.
I've made them. I've made them.
Yeah, I have. I never made them, but I rode on them.
Uh-huh.
My girl went, my present wife, she
For hauling their horns.
Turn time, yes, for haul of horn.
For hollow horn?
Yes, for
Yeah.
hauling horns.
Uh-huh.
They'd split their tail and put turtle time in it for wolf in the tail.
Wolf in the tail.
Yeah.
What did, how about pole evil and horses?
Fold evil.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's a son of a gun of a thing. We never could cure that, I don't think. They use the medicine. You generally have a hole clear through. It's syringe medicine in that.
Uh-huh.
It comes from a bruise on the top of the
Fly
head.
out,
Those stables.
fly out the other side.
Those ceilings in the stables.
Was there anybody around the countryside that was supposed to be pretty good at fixing up animals when they got sick?
Oh yes, there was generally a man that was pretty good at it. Dave Gorman used to be pretty good because he learned to be a veterinary surgeon afterwards.
Yeah.
Aaron Snyder was pretty good with horses. And I used to doctor horses quite a bit myself. I
Uh-huh.
never had very much trouble with my own horses. They never got sick very much. There's a good bit more in the feeding to make horses get along. I had 2 or 3 different horses. 3, I think, at about 24 years old when they were finished, and I sold one. The last one I sold was, she'd have been 25, about 24 years and a half. I sold her for animal feed. Had 2 of them, and there was an awful good mares, and I told them to come to buy them, and I said, what do you want to do with them? Well, they said he wanted to buy them. Well, I said I won't sell them to you unless you use them for animal feed. Because I said I wouldn't have them putting out into a trading ring under no consideration. I said I think too much of a horse for that. But he agreed to do that. I said if you hold up your hand, I didn't know him. If you hold up your hand to God that that's what you'll buy them for, why all right. And he did. I sold them. I never heard of them afterwards.
Uh-huh. What'd you do for black teeth and swine?
And what?
And what'd you do for black teeth and hogs?
Oh, knock them out.
Knock them out? What, a chisel?
You know, well, just punch of any kind. You can
Oh.
knock 'em out. No, wolf teeth, you knock them out of a horse, too.
Did you?
Yes, knock them out.
Was there anybody around in the section that you'd take, say, a horse to for pole evil or anything like that, and then you'd go away and he'd fix them? Or he didn't want you around?
No, I don't know that I did. I never had much trouble with pole evil.
Uh-huh.
I've seen it.
Did you ever hear of taking a horse like that to somebody at dawn? Right about dawn. He wanted the horse brought about then?
No, I don't think.
Uh-huh.
I hadn't. whole lot of trouble with 6 horses. I don't know so much about them.
Uh-huh. What kind of cattle did you keep?
Oh, I kept different cattle. I had Holstein, I had Guernseys, and I had one, I had some Herefords,
Uh-huh.
Jerseys.
yes, and Jerseys, and most all kinds
You
of
had
them.
those every one, didn't you?
Huh?
You had those all of them.
Yeah, I had them different kinds.
What kind your dad keep?
He just kept the same as his brothers, but keep all kinds of them.
Yes, yes.
He
Whatever
kept,
kind
did
he
he
bought,
keep purebred?
Never raised purebreds.
What, they call them native cattle or anything like
Yes,
that?
it was native cattle.
How about Devons? Were they ever in this country much?
Devonshire, yeah.
Yes, there was some of them.
Yes, Devons. My father brought Devons through from Ohio. He used to drive cattle through from Ohio.
Oh, did they drive much around?
Oh, they used to drive cattle to Indiana. That was the nearest place you could get them. They drove sheep and they drove turkeys.
Drive turkeys?
Oh, I've seen them drive them. I never drove them to drive hogs, but they drove turkeys.
Yes, whenever it would come roosting time, then's when them turkeys would go up, don't
Yes, sir, and you have to stay there all night.
morning. You stay the morning.
But you could drive a whole 200 or 300 in a flock right along the road and drive them clean to Indiana.
Stock carriage.
Load them up there.
They used to raise them here.
Yeah.
They don't hide the bread.
I never.
We
they
used to
drive-
raise turkeys, lots of them.
He used to drive cattle through, my father used to drive cattle through from Ohio, through to Lancaster County.
Uh-huh.
He'd bring, anywhere from 100 to 150 in a drove. And then, of course, what they're talking about here is the stockmen would gather up and then ship from Indiana. You see, that's the
Yes.
nearest rail point. Now, I'm coming through from Ohio or even on west. Come wet spell, rain, why, the feet get sore. That's the trouble with driving cattle on clay roads. Rain slides and wear their feet out, then they'd have to load at Indiana. Somebody'd have to come ahead and order cars, and then they'd load the ship from Indiana to Lancaster if they got a wet summer. They'd make about 3 trips during the summer. But this here was more local gathering up.
Warned me full well. They did warn me to shun the gates of hell, but in spite of their good counsel, my own way I took. And now here I'm dying, and my name is William Cook. That's all I know of it. And